Hello, let's learn a little bit about Blackboard Collaborate, which is our online live classroom. The first thing I'm going to show you today is when you enter the room, you will notice that your hand will be raised. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to lower your hand. And to do that, there should be a little hand icon at the very top. So if we just click on that, you'll notice that your hand will be lowered. Now, in addition to that, if you ever have a question during a live class and you need to raise your hand to get your teacher's attention, you can go ahead and just click on that and you'll notice that your hand will be raised. All right. If you need to step away from your computer for a little bit and you do not want the teacher to call on you during that time, the icon right next to it with the little symbol here, we're going to go ahead and click on that and it will set us to away. And we just click on it again to bring us back to the present. And then if you ever want to send a smiley face, because sometimes your teachers will ask you questions and you need to respond with a smiley face or a thumbs up, the icon on the very left here will allow you to do that. So if I were to go ahead and click on the confusion face, you can see that a little confused face pops up underneath my name. And then vice versa, if I need the smiley face, it'll appear there as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is the chat area. So you can go ahead and you can send a chat to the main room. So if you want everybody to see it, we are just going to type right in there. If you want just your teachers to see it, the teachers that are in the room, you can go ahead and click on moderators. And that will send just to the teachers in the room. Now, if you're in study hall and there are multiple teachers, you can go ahead and send a private chat to just the person that you are talking to. And to do that, you click on their name. And I don't think I can actually send myself a message here, but it'll appear here like send a private message to that person. When you're in study hall and you're working in like a breakout room and stuff, make sure that you're typing to the room tab. All right. That way people in the room that you're in will see your conversations and not everybody in the whole class will. So if you're doing breakout rooms, make sure you just use the room tab to type on. All right. The next thing I'm going to show you is the talk feature. So the talk button works a lot like a walkie-talkie. So to begin talking, we're going to press on the talk. And notice now that it is blue. I have a little blue microphone that popped up. I have control of the mic, and you can see that my voice is registering there. And to turn off, so if I ask my question to the class or to the teacher, and I'm done with that, and I'm waiting for their response, you need to click off of the talk button. Okay, notice how that I'm not talking on it anymore. That will free up the microphone for somebody else to use it now. If you don't click off of that, you will not get a response because you still have control of the microphone and nobody else does. Right? There will be times when you're expected to use your webcam, and if you're using a Wisconsin Virtual Learning laptop, it comes with the webcam already built in. So all you would have to do is just click on that video. And you would pop up, and then again to take your video off, you just click it again like you do the talk button. Now, if your talk button isn't working, like you don't notice it's registering, there is a way that we can try to fix it. So that's the next thing that I want to show you. So if it's not working, we can go up to Tools, and we can do something, we go to Audio, and we're going to do something called Audio Setup Wizard. So if you go to Tools and Audio, and then Audio Setup Wizard, this is going to walk us through to make sure that everything is working okay. So I'm right now using a headset, so that's why we see highlighted. So I'm going to hit OK. If you can hear that, then we'll go ahead and hit stop and say, were you able to hear that? Yes, I was. And then it's going to check your talk feature as well. So if I record here, testing, testing. And then if I stop that and play it back, I should be able to hear myself. And then I was, so I'm going to hit yes. And then you should go ahead and try your talk button again. All right, so that will hopefully have fixed any issues and your microphone will work again. All right, there are other things that I want to point out to you. There are times when your teacher will ask you to application share, and that means that you are going to share something that is on your computer with the class or with the teacher. So to do that, there are a couple different ways. The fastest way to application share is to go ahead and hit these interlocking rectangles up here at the top. All right, so notice when I hover over that, it actually says application sharing. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you can share a program that you have open. So whatever you're going to share, make sure you have it open, or you can share your entire desktop. So if I were to share my desktop here, that's going to pop up here, and you're actually going to see my desktop behind it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take application sharing off. To take application sharing off, there's actually like a little stop button that will appear that you can hit, or you can ask your teacher to help you take it off as well. To get back to the whiteboard, just hit the rectangle on the left that has like the red squiggly lines with the pencil, and that's going to bring you back to the main board. All right, the next thing I'm going to tell you is you can go ahead, if you have whiteboard privileges, if the teacher gives you that to write on the board, there are some extra icons. What you have to do to find those is you have to kind of click and hold down, because you notice that there's like a tiny little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner of your tools here, and that will bring up some extra features that the Blackboard Collaborate Room has. And then you're able to either type on the board, or you can write and do your math problems and all that good stuff. All right, the other thing that I want to show you that's really, really important is how can you save what's on the whiteboard after your classes are done. So let's say you want to take notes and you can't write very fast. There is still a way to save all of your slides that the teacher has done throughout the course or throughout that class. So come up to File, and we are going to save, and we're going to save the whiteboard. So File, Save, and Whiteboard. I'm going to do all pages, okay? So it's important that we have all the pages, or if you want just one of the pages, you can go ahead and click on this, the current page, or whatever pages you want to save for later. The best bet is just to save all the pages there. So let's hit OK, and it's going to bring it up to my desktop here. It's very important that we give it a name that we know. So maybe I did Unit 1, Lesson 1 in Algebra 1. See. Maybe I just give it a title like that. Now the files of type, this is where it gets very important. If you were to click on that and scroll down, you notice you have a couple different files of type here. You want to make sure you save it as a whiteboard PDF. Right? If you do not save it as a whiteboard PDF, you will not be able to access it later on. All right, so very important that we save it as a whiteboard PDF. And yours might be set to save as just a whiteboard file, WBD, but that will not work. Make sure you switch it to whiteboard PDF. All right, this will allow you to access it later on. And then obviously you just hit save. And once you have that, you can go back to your desktop or wherever you saved it. And if you're going to be saving files consecutively, make sure that you have a folder so that you can stay nice and organized. So maybe putting an algebra folder on your desktop or an English 9 folder on your desktop. And have one for each course that you're in so that you can stay nice and organized. I'm trying to think here if there's anything else that we need to do. I just want to show you breakout rooms really quick here. I'm going to go ahead and create some breakout rooms for us, possibly. There they are. My connection was just a little bit slower, but they popped up here. And now let's say I want to move myself to a breakout room, because your teachers will ask you to move yourself once in a while. To do that, you can just drag and drop yourself into a room. And notice how I just kind of move myself into a room by dragging and dropping my name. Or you can go ahead and click on your name and you can do send to breakout room, and maybe I have to go to room 4. So I can send myself to room 4. Or if I want to go back to the main room, I just click send myself to the main room, and it'll bring me back up to the main room up on top. Also, I didn't go over this before, but notice that there are polling responses next to the hand, raise your hand feature. So the teacher may ask you, are you still listening, or do you have any questions? And here's when you can respond yes or no. Sometimes it may be a multiple choice type question. And instead of a green check and a red X, you'll actually see the options of A, B, C, or D up here. So just want you to be aware that we do have those polling responses. So if your teacher asks you to use a green check or a red X or respond to a multiple choice question, you do have that feature there next to the raise your hand. All right, I think those are the main concepts that you need to know for Blackboard Collaborate when you're in your live classes. And don't forget, at any time, if you do have a question, you can go ahead and ask your teacher. And the best way to ask your teacher is to just send it to the room feature here or the moderator tab in the chat area.